Hello, stream.
Good evening.
Hello. Hello.
It is I, storytelling, once again. This never happens so quickly in a row. So everyone's in for a fun treat tonight, I think.
If our void ever deigns to join us.
I know. Everyone good? And hello, Kraken.
I'm good.
No, we're the late ones. It's fine.
Twitch is updating on my phone finally. It's doing it.
Come on, guys. We've been talking this whole time. Don't get quiet on me now.
Sorry, I got distracted. I was trying to pull Twitch up on my phone. So
We all go,
what's going on.
Like, oh, we're
all
streaming
like,
now. Time for no noise.
and time to pull up
A void!
Twitch.
Welcome, Void.
A void has arrived.
Hello, darkness.
I'm try to see if I can get an actual camera coming up.
If not, at least you're here in spirit. Crossing us from the veil. From the Shadowlands. Oh, a kind of picture. Yay!
Yay!
It works.
Yeah, sure, we'll say that.
It's fine. Hi, Furnace.
If I can get it to play on the right thing.
Now I can side-eye chat.
So much noise from Dengle's end.
My phones can be a little bit of a struggle to use them.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's fine. We're just happy he's here. So, anything from anyone?
Not on my end.
It's fine, Kraken. There's just Dante, hanging out behind the tree in bear form.
I was like, Dante? I don't see no Devil May Cry poster there.
It's a Gangrel ex-Baron from Atlanta whose animal form is a bear.
I was planning to wear a Christmas sweater. However, it shrunk a little bit.
That's the option that I've got.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little low-key sad that Beth isn't in the Atlanta group anymore, because I was 100% looking for dog-themed Christmas sweaters. Because she would have done it.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Absolutely would have.
Also, even by early Christmas tree crack in December.
That's true. Mine was out the day after Thanksgiving.
Yeah, same.
It's just 2 rooms over. You can't see it. It's really sad I haven't actually put bulbs on it yet. It's just up with lights.
It's something.
Yep.
I prefer the old way of putting candles on trees.
Okay, fire hazard.
Yes!
But arson.
I do not wish to lose my home.
Me either, then I can't stream.
Well, that's why you have to put out the candles every night.
Or just don't light them at that point.
Yeah, especially since conifer sap is like super flammable.
So are pine cones. They pop.
Oh, yeah. Huh. I keep forgetting about that.
I had a 3.5 druid concept where they used pine cones as explosives. They just like kept a full bag of them.
I've just seen too many survival videos on how to make emergency torches with like pine sap.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
Now my brain is just thinking about that exploding tree, by the way.
Oh, which one? Which one?
The one that accidentally embeds itself slightly into you. Yeah.
What?
That doesn't narrow it down.
I know it doesn't.
I'm so confused.
It's very thorny.
That still doesn't narrow it
I
down.
don't
know.
understand what you're talking about.
It
Is this a
basically
video? Is this a game? Is this a thing? Like what are we
a real
talking
tree. A real tree that just explodes to send its seeds out.
Interesting.
It's very surprising.
Sandbox tree.
That one, yes.
Native throughout most of tropical America. Interesting for its pumpkin-shaped seed capsules that explode with a loud report, scattering the seeds. Like, people have actually been hurt by it.
Interesting.
And it's covered in these nasty-looking, like, thumbtack-like thorns. Oh no, he's left us.
He said he'd be right back. Well, he gestured that he'd be right back.
Hopefully he's summoning the cats.
No, it'd be so much noise if the cats join us now. Like every little shift he does is already making noise.
Yeah, true. True.
What were you gonna say, Serga?
Oh, I just said I really want to get one of those trees, but I don't think it will survive in Oregon.
Yeah, probably not. Given
Plus,
that, you know,
liability.
given
Some
that
liability.
it's a tropical tree, no, I don't think Oregon would fulfill that.
Maybe California would.
Depends on what part.
I do think I'd get in trouble if it spread at all, though, so...
Yes. They don't typically like not native things, especially ones like that.
Yeah, those things go for miles. They can spread very fast, so...
Yeah. And he's back.
Woohoo!
That was the wrong cup. That was a very different taste than I was expecting.
I have regrets as well in my
Coffee
beverage
right
choice.
after Earl Grey tea is really gross, by the way.
Oh, that does sound very awful.
Yes. Ugh. It's fine. Oh, I think Dengle might be changing up the mic thing.
Yeah. Of course it is. That one. Doing that.
Problem?
I don't think so.
Sounds good.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
So the question is, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. So it did transfer fully over. Good.
Cool.
I will just have to remember to actually hit the mute button.
That's unfortunate, but I think we'll be fine.
Yeah, I think that's the least of our worries in this particular situation.
Yeah.
Given I still don't have internet a day and a half later.
Yeah. That's awful.
So, by all means, don't
Okay.
wait on me any longer, because I know we've been waiting on me.
It's fine. Before we begin, questions, comments, or concerns from the last game?
I'm Peachy Keen.
I'll find out during the game.
That's fine, Serga.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
Just makes it that much more realistic.
Yep. Rolling into our intro. Ah, why did things change again? What the hell? God bless it. I'll have to fix that again. That's super annoying. I just
Oh, I
fixed
see
that.
3 of me.
Yeah,
I
no,
saw that.
I just fixed that. It's fine. No overlay again. Dang it.
Oh, gotta love OBS.
It's fine. Anyway, I'm the storyteller, Feyla. Joining me tonight is Buttons playing Uriel,
Ew.
Nenavar playing Zep,
Hello.
Serga playing Life,
Hi.
and Dengle back as Rufus.
Hey, I have weird setup, so forgive me.
It's fine. You guys want to do a recap?
Yeah, we took care of Cole while breaking the masquerade the whole way.
Yeah, I totally didn't have that be a problem. And then let's see here, what else happened? We made new friends. Or something like that.
Her.
Rufus did. We didn't meet him yet.
Rufus reconnected with old friends. But, Dengle, would you like to give us a little bit of what Rufus may have done on his trip?
So Rufus made a trip down to Atlanta, first and foremost. Talked to some people, messed with some things, taught somebody something. Sure, that won't be useful ever. Also made an initial business proposition of sorts. Got that set up for somebody else, which I'm sure isn't going to help at all ever. And for those of you that don't know, Stephen taught Stephen how to become a cobbler, sort of, and then set up a bootlegger, sort of.
Yeah, kind of.
For Tori, I mean that's effectively what it is. So yeah, that's what he was doing in Atlanta. Also dropped off an annoying Jack Russell Terrier.
Yeah.
But that's here nor there. And then let's see here, what else happened? He went to Charleston for a minute just to stop in, see some things, and then left again. Went over to Texas, talked to somebody there, which I'm sure that's not going to cause a problem for any of us. Other people maybe, but not us. And then he went to an undisclosed location, mainly because I think we kind of half talked about it, but not really. And talked to somebody else that is going to be much more useful, which is also going to be a pain in the rear for a certain NPC of ours. But it's fine. We'll cross that bridge when we get there.
Yeah.
And then let's see here. Went to some national monuments, got some tourism stuff, specifically for Yuri and Zep. It's also got some stuff for William too, but it's like stuff from like Nashville. Some music stuff. So he actually half thought about them. And then yeah, I think that's pretty much it. There's some other stuff, but yeah.
Okay. So we wrapped up the cult. We did all that. What would life have been doing on that day that he was not, that he was left alone?
Oh, it would have been mostly just chilling out and reading books. Maybe receive a weird message. It's fine.
Healed some damage, did some feeding.
Mostly just recuperate from a horrible incident in the Shadowlands.
Speaking of, may I get your rouse checks for the evening? We are starting on the 24th of March.
Success.
I'll sit down. You'll have to reroll.
Yuri failed. I'm at 3.
Okay.
Zip also failed.
Yuri's at 3. What's Zep at?
Also 3.
3. Rufus is at
2.
2. And what is life at?
1.
Okay. So, how would the three of you like to begin this first day? Night. You guys are killing me.
Ben's busy right now.
Fine. I'll go first. So Rufus will set up his meetings for the next couple days. Peter being first, just whenever Peter can make it over, I'll take him as an audience. Immediately followed by Daria. And then we'll set up something for the following evening for Leon, just on his schedule. And then whenever Damien shows up and he'll just talk to him. That's what he said the night before, so that's what he's going to hold himself to. And we'll also write up a nice, pretty letter for Ellie, and we'll eventually make his way over there and just kind of leave it in like a mailbox or something. He thinks you might grab.
So, we'll start with Damien. He'll show up first, because he's fairly eager to talk to you. Given everything that has happened, and the almost being diablerized.
Yeah, it's traumatic.
Yep. So he would show up relatively early in the evening.
Yeah. Rufus probably would just be doing general cleaning. Whatever is left over, which I'm sure probably isn't a whole heck of a lot anymore.
No.
As far as actual floor cleaning.
Yeah, the cleaning itself has been going pretty well. Varia and actually Peter seemed to have been working on it as well while you were gone. There is some of the structural stuff left to do, but it all has been paid for in advance. Despite what happened to Valentina, it had all been finalized and paid for. So you don't actually need to worry about that. You just need to let them know when you'd like them to start.
Okay. So yeah, when Damien shows up, he would immediately stop him. Full attention.
Hey.
Yes.
A lot of shit happened while you were gone.
So you said. As well as Kate and Ryan.
Yeah, kind of got the rundown from them on what could have happened.
To be fair, I was hoping that you wouldn't have to run into something as such so soon. Eventually, it would have been on the docket to actually teach you, but yeah.
You pulled me into some shit here.
I did. You're also resourceful and you know how to keep yourself usually out of dangerous situations. So wasn't a whole lot I had to work.
No, you just, got me killed.
Only halfway there.
Sure.
Your soul's still here. Your heart's just not beating. It's fine.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like it some days.
Some days are worse than others. But we soldier on.
Yeah, been learning a bunch from the others. There's a lot of us here, actually.
I know.
Like the Ravnos, not as a whole.
I know. It's not that I dislike who we are as a whole. It's just I know that too many of us and too tight-knit of a group tends to implode very quickly if not given structure.
Yeah, no, most of them don't run together, but there's meeting points, I guess.
Eventually, that was another thing that nudge you toward once you got better feet, but apparently you found them before I got to you.
Yeah, once Kate realized, or not Kate, Kate. Once Kate realized, she was showing me some of that stuff. I don't really want to be fighting things again. Not
That's
really.
Fine. I would like to avoid it if at all possible. I'm just in a little bit more unfortunate situation where I can't avoid it.
Yeah.
I won't actually ask you to do any of the physical fight. If I were to ask you to help, it would be more of a can you look at this for me? Can you make sure that nothing's going on? That's about as far as I'm going to ask you to do.
Yeah, I mean, I know
right.
I can kind of take care of myself, but if you want to send me to go get information on people, I'll do that, but I ain't gonna fight for you.
That's fine. Like I said, I've already asked too much of you as is. So, you feel like you're in danger, like I said, the first night. Run.
Yeah, I'm real good at that.
Good.
At least real good at not getting caught.
That's the important part. Actually, speaking of, I have a friend that will be coming in. I don't actually know how long, but when she gets here, I think you two would benefit from a good talk. She might be able to help with the whole not getting caught.
Kind of friend.
An old one. Someone that taught me how to be in plain sight and not get caught.
Oh.
That's not the person that made me like this.
Okay, good. I don't think I want to meet them.
No, they're dead.
Yeah, I was gonna say that we can't come back, right?
Physically, no. The spirit can technically, but typically it's going to be a little bit more difficult to do if I remember what I've been taught.
Good. Here and very were good. Didn't have me do a whole lot. It was just my own stupid decisions that got me in the other place.
And now you know why being one of us is so difficult. Otherwise, it wouldn't be that bad.
Yeah.
I would say don't do it again. At some point in your life, you will.
Yeah, probably. Not the greatest, but...
The benefit is you're resourceful, you know how to keep yourself safe. So when you put yourself in those situations, you also know how to get out of it. If there's anything I can do to help you get out of those situations, if the need would arise, let me know.
Okay.
And I can make that happen. I have multiple people that are willing to work with and for me that can help also clean up any further messes that you might have.
That's good. I don't really plan on making too many more.
But again, should the need arise. Have you met Spike?
That kind of really ugly dude got a cat?
Yes.
Yeah.
And then you've met Buck?
Yeah?
And then I'm sure you have seen Officer Robinson quite a few times.
Oh yeah.
All three of them are, at least short term, willing to work for me. So
That's good. Spike can do some crazy shit.
Very useful, yeah. Buck is close. Not quite, but close.
Yeah, I haven't really seen him. You kind of took him with you when you left. I only dealt with Spike.
He's my ace in the hole, I guess. Just if I need something done, point him in a direction, he'll do it.
Is there anything you need me to do? Like I said, I'll go out and, like, I don't know, scout for you, I guess.
Do me a favor. If you see any stray dogs moving away from the hospital, count them and let me know. So by the end of the week, give me doesn't have to be a specific number, but give me a general idea what we're looking at.
Just dogs?
Yes, that look like they're moving in a very specific direction, like toward the eye.
I'll put some words out.
If any of them look particularly mangy, those are the ones that I'm really curious about.
Okay. You mean like the one that killed me, kinda?
Kind of. Yes.
Oh. Cool. I don't really go near dogs anymore.
That's fair. I can understand why.
Yeah, I'll put the word out to start keeping an eye on strays.
I appreciate it.
Yeah. Good to see you, I guess.
Good to see you as well. Good to see that you're in one piece.
Yeah.
Is there anything I can do for you?
Just let me know where to not be if shit's gonna happen again.
Near the casino.
Okay.
Don't go anywhere near there.
Yeah, it's been locked up pretty tight from what I hear.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah, it's real weird.
When I figure out the plan specifically, I'll give you a better idea of what exactly is going on. Okay?
Yeah. Do you want me to put word out
Until
to
then.
anything about that? I'm not doing that myself, just, on the street.
That would be the people that need to know. The people that don't need to go probably won't go near there. So it's fine.
Okay. I'll go put the word out if you don't need me for anything else.
I don't. But if you need anything, by all means, don't hesitate to reach out.
Yeah. That's why I was messaging you.
I'm not going to keep you too long. I do have a meeting in a little bit. I just want to make sure that it's with Peter. So.
Okay.
If you're here, you're here. If you're the old.
Yeah, no, I don't really plan on sticking around too much.
That's fair. No. If you're going to stick around for any period of time, I'm sure there's room around here that could use pushing. Otherwise, explore. I don't know how much you saw this when it was open.
I didn't.
You can find some really neat stuff in some of these lockers. Some of the graffiti's unique.
Maybe I will go do that. You mind if I do something?
By all means.
Okay. And he will leave, and we will see what he tags later.
Yeah.
Before we dip into his next meeting, there's things anyone else want to do?
We can take care of some stuff Supple's going to do.
Okay.
So while that meeting's taking place, Zup would be driving around Rufus's domain to see if anything popped up while they were busy with the cult.
What specifically are you looking for?
Any new criminal enterprises or new kindred that may have moved in the area.
You can give me wits and awareness for like visual differences, like visual changes. If you're wanting to get out and talk to people, that'd be a charisma and streetwise.
Three for just driving around.
Okay. So there's not really anything new here that you've seen. You haven't spent a ton of time just driving around the area to get a baseline, but you've done a little bit. Doesn't really seem like a whole lot has changed. Couple less people on the streets right now, but given the news report you heard the previous evening, not really surprising.
Makes sense.
Yeah, nothing catches your attention as strange or odd. How are you sticking around more the middle of the area, more around the school itself, or farther up or off to the sides? Like where are you searching mostly?
Up to the north.
Okay. Yeah, that's a lot less people are out that way because that was where the shooting happened. So there's a lot less people on the streets than would typically be there. You can do another area the next night, but if you're taking time to just be thorough on it, it would take you a while.
He'd be pretty thorough about it.
Yeah. So that area doesn't seem to have anything that you would not expect.
About towards the end of the patrol, you would actually send a text message to Rufus letting him know that he may not be available the next night because he's going to be making a day trip.
Intriguing, however. Have fun.
Gonna see if I can get some information about what's going on in the casino. We'll keep you updated.
Be extremely careful, please.
That's why I'm going during the day.
Point, however, still be extremely careful. gun shrew tend to have a lot of eyes, even during the day.
Keep that in mind.
So that would be how you would spend the majority of your evening. Uriel or Life? Or shall we go back to Rufus for another meeting?
Uriel needs to take care of a little bit of this hunger here. So when they wake up, first thing they're going to do is they're going to call someone from their herd that they haven't fed on for a while, and ask them to meet them at their old haven under the guise of packing up boxes of clothes.
Okay. Remind me how many dots of herd you have.
2.
Okay. And it's been a minute since you've actively fed on any of them.
Mm-hmm.
So they'll meet you. Under the guise of packing clothes, a middle-aged man, kind of on the younger side still, will meet you with a truck to help you move boxes and whatever else you need lifting.
Okay. So we will actually do a little bit of that for a little bit before Uriel will call them into the back, say, hey, I need help lifting this particular heavy box. Then when he's back there, quick feed and a very quick forget that just happened.
Are you taking 1 or 2?
Just 1.
Okay. So he can still help you after. He's a little dizzy and a little wobbly, but is attributing it to lack of sleep.
Mm-hmm.
As you were packing things up, are you being careful? Are you searching through things? Or are you just packing?
Just packing. They'll go through things a little bit more securely a little bit later. It's just clothes and stuff. So
that's fine. So you are packed up. You get a good chunk of your more necessary things done and taken care of, and the guy will help you move them wherever you're taking them to. Which is?
Let's see. A few of the boxes will probably be dropped off at a Goodwill, just clothes that Uriel doesn't use anymore. And then what's left will be dropped off in front of the school.
He will question why they're being dropped off in front of the school.
Donations. They're starting
School's closed, though. I mean, I heard someone bought it, but...
Yeah, there's a thing. They want to, start a shelter or something, so...
Well, you know the people doing it?
Not personally.
Okay,
just heard.
Weird, but whatever.
I thought much the same, to be honest, but not my place to judge.
Yeah,
Thanks for your help, by the way.
Yeah, no problem. Sorry I'm not feeling super great.
Nah, it's probably my fault for asking your help at the end of the day. I'm sure you had a busy day.
A little bit. If you don't need anything else, I'll go drop the clothes off on my way home.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. Go get some rest.
Thanks. And he will go do that. So you have several boxes in front of the place. And you would probably see Damien coming out at that point.
You'll just kind of nod and go back to shuffling through the boxes.
Right there in the middle of the street?
Yes.
Okay. He will get an odd look from him.
Just a quick shuffle through to make sure nothing got hidden in any pockets or things like that.
Give me wits and awareness.
Okay. Come here. Gonna burn a willpower to reroll that because we're off to a great start.
Okay.
4.
You do find 1 bloodstone tucked away in a pocket.
Toss it down like a nearby sewer drain or whatever.
Okay. Do you take the rest of it in, or what would you like to do?
Yeah, we'll take it. Yeah, we'll take it in and just stick it in like a very like downstairs storage closet area.
Okay. Yep. You can do that, no problem, unless Rufus wants to stop you. Okay. So yeah, you do that, and do you unpack, start setting up a small sleeping area?
Gonna leave it for now. Just go back to the books for a while.
Okay. You can absolutely do that. So that's how you will spend your evening. You get through a decent chunk. You're starting to run across duplicates at this point and probably setting them aside. Okay. So, as you are doing that, Peter will walk in.
Rufus will likely quickly grab him and pull him into a private room.
He will allow it. You said you wanted to talk?
Yes, I know that me doing that is probably going to erase some suspicion, but at this point I don't really care. However, I need to know the state of a couple things. State of, first and foremost, you. Is everything going well?
Yeah. I'm
Okay.
confused.
So, I'm sure that you are fully aware of exactly what's going on in the city, and where the very potentially dangerous for everyone issues lie.
Yeah, I was there that night.
Exactly. I've been away, and I've been trying to talk to some people to try to get some able bodies to be able to fix that, because she's not something that I want to have hang around too long.
I don't really know how you plan on outing her. She's older than Katarzyna.
That brings me to my first point. How difficult do you think it would be to convince Kat that she's an actual threat, not just a general threat?
With her being holed up, not likely.
What would, from the best of your knowledge, what would be the best bargaining chip to try to get her to act when everything's set?
And he'll lean back and kind of think for a minute. Taking something of hers, getting it hurt there, setting it up to look like that.
So say one doesn't want to effectively blackmail her into her join the fight. Would there be any other way?
Not unless the other one decides to barge in on Katarzyna's area.
What I was afraid of.
At least that's what
Because I don't-
happened when the Sabbat were here. They didn't mess with her. She didn't care.
And I think that one is pragmatic enough that she would be able to realize one person at a time, one clan at a time, if she were to try to do something.
Yeah,
That would be
she
an issue.
probably saw what Katarzyna can do during that night too.
Exactly. So it probably wouldn't quickly provoke Cat without having
Probably
a
not.
plan in place. So here's my next question. How big is the family? Last you knew.
There's a few of us. Give me 1 second. 'Cause I do have this one. There's like 8 to 10 of us last I saw.
And of those, if something were to happen to Cat, worst case scenario, how many of those would be unwilling to go outside of the domain? And how many of those would potentially be willing to step into more modern ways of thinking, more progressive ways, and actually help others without actually needing something in return?
Right now, probably not many of them will.
Right now, there's majority of them are in one way, shape, fashion, or form bonded to someone else, all leading back to Cat.
Yeah.
So I understand that, but say Cat wasn't an issue anymore. If Cat cannot be convinced,
What are you getting at here?
I have it on good authority you don't necessarily like her. She's not your favorite person in the world, correct?
No, pretty sure I told you that.
You did. So I think we're both smart enough to realize that Artemis is a problem. We need to take care of her. If Cat's not willing to help, Cat needs to step aside in some way. I don't want to hurt Cat. However, I don't think that Cat's just going to let her family go.
No.
Right.
That is literally the last thing she'd let happen.
Exactly. Well, second to last thing. I think Vincent's the last thing that she would let happen.
Yeah, she's tracked him down before, like, states away.
I seem to remember right after I got here, she disappeared for a while and came back with him.
Yeah, it's about the only
I
time
don't
she
have
leaves. Outside of her random meetings.
So, I understand. I know of what Vincent is, so there's no surprises there, which this point, I think everybody probably has an idea.
Anyone who paid half amount of attention that night probably knows.
Exactly. So I don't necessarily have to ask you in particular if you would help everyone else take care of the Artemis problem. But if Kat were to somehow have the bombs completely broken, top down, would that be... How much of an issue would that be for the rest of the family? Do you think?
Couple of them might be an issue. But the worry there would be Kat herself. He would not take that well.
I would have to figure out exactly how that's going to have to happen if it has to happen. I'm not quite there yet, however. I wanted to see if it was even viable thinking on that plan.
If you catch some of them without her fully saying no, you might get some of them. Delia knows it's a problem. Give me charisma and persuasion, please.
Oh, just a second.
Mm-hmm.
The only problem with these dice is I don't know which ones are blood dice.
Mm-hmm.
3.
He seems to start to say something and then backs off.
To be fair, Celia's one of the ones that I was worried about. Seeing as she is a little bit more talented than some of the rest.
Yeah.
However, you were about to say something. Is this something that would be dangerous for me to know? So I wouldn't. It would be very wise to not say anything.
Dangerous for
Or is it just something?
me.
Okay. Eerie's.
Because how do I know you aren't just going to go to her with us? With anything?
Well, I basically already said that I'm willing to eliminate Kat
Doesn't mean you aren't
to
lying.
you. Right, but let's be fully honest here. We both know that we have our own interests in mind. At the end of the day, I don't play well with others when they don't want to play anything. Especially if I'm not wanting to play anything causes danger for me or people that I actually like. You're quickly becoming one of those people because you can't be bound to someone else. So I know where your loyalties lie in there and respect. loyalties lied mostly with myself. There's very few exceptions. And they are very specific exceptions.
You can do either a charisma or manipulation roll.
Okay.
With persuasion.
I will take manipulation and persuasion.
I figured.
That would be 4.
You can continue if you were going to say more.
So if the concern is me going and ratting you out, I'm not ugly enough for that. I don't rat people out.
Something I'm worried about, yeah. But I guess you don't, do you?
No.
Not that I've heard, at least. There's a reason Kat tried to show me some of the sorcery she knows. The not being bound, kind of a giveaway that you can do that. At least in her experience.
It's beneficial to know. I'll keep that in mind. And I'll keep that very close to the chest.
Yeah.
Oh, sure. Question for another time. Anyway, my final question for you. This is much less pressing. Is there anything I can do for you, since you did a pretty decent job, I would say, of taking care of things for me?
You're one of the few that Kat almost likes. So she was mostly fine with us being over here without too many eyes on us.
Okay.
You need official things done, can probably keep swinging that.
And unofficial, if you happen to drop off the radar, I don't know where you are. If you just need to disappear for a little while.
You say that until she gets in a mood.
Maybe she should lay off of Vincent every once in a while.
That's when she turns to the rest of us.
Why am I not surprised? In any case, we discussed sports, didn't we?
Yeah.
And art. Or music, or whatever else. I don't know.
Sure.
The offer stands, since you took care of things for me. If you need something, let me know.
Find me something to do now and then.
I can come up with something. Wouldn't be too difficult. And as far as the unofficial position that I was asking, if you would be interested in, it would effectively entail, if you hear anything, let me know. I will make a more conscious and driven effort to find you things to do.
Yeah, if you need something done, text Boria
I can do that.
with a request for me.
I can do that. That way everything stays above board, right?
Yeah. She's not wondering what I'm doing.
Right. In the meantime, stay safe. Keep your head down, which do a fairly decent job of, for the most part.
Yeah. Kind of have to.
And I will stay in touch.
Yeah. Oh, Very will be good tomorrow. Kat's having her do some stuff.
That's fine. I've got a meeting with Leon. I can meet her after, that's fine.
Yeah, I don't know when she'll be free, but...
When she's free, she's free. Big deal.
Yep. Now that you're back, she's got to do a big check-in.
Oh, yes, of course. And I'm sure she will be asked 1,000,001 questions.
Less than you probably think.
Yes, that's the positive part of that. I'm sure you probably actually are asked more questions.
I am,
Just
yeah.
in a different way.
Kat really doesn't care if it's not her area.
Good. Take everything that you've disclosed to me with a very discerning thought.
Yeah.
If you want any books on the way up, library.
Not a
finding some duplicates.
big one for reading for pleasure.
Oh. I could probably find you some movies. You want any of those? Can't just find them. You're not sure which you can and can't find anymore.
I watch stuff. Like, I've got subscriptions.
I don't, obviously.
I have free time.
I have more than you'd think, but not as much as I want.
If I go out and do too much, it's questioned.
Mine is an idle hands situation.
Yeah.
Becomes the devil's plaything. And no, that isn't supposed to be a reference to this. It's a
Your
reference
recommendations, for stuff to watch, I can get you those.
I like the classics. So. Which it's funny you say the classics, they came out after I'd turned into this. Anyway.
Anything else, or I'm gonna go before it gets questioned where I am?
Yeah, that would probably be a good thing for you to head out.
Yeah.
Have fun, stay safe. If you see anything, hear anything, let me know.
Yeah. And he leaves.
And Rufus will just kind of ruminate for a little while.
Okay. So that will wrap up the first day, unless you guys want to do anything. Anyone wants to do anything else?
Hello. Oh, I have plans.
So, say your plans.
Well, Life Dodge is going to be playing a management sim, apparently. He's going to be sending out 2 Thin Bloods to start getting connections with his Thin Bloods and the rest of the Thin Bloods in Detroit. Try to have them figure that out. He's not going to micromanage them. It'll be fine.
Okay.
And then the other 3 are just going to work on the church with him.
Now, I do have one question for you. These Thin Bloods, they came with you, correct?
Yes, they did.
Okay. So they don't really know how to find the Thin Bloods here.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's for them to figure out.
All right. So you have 2 of them going out. They will be unavailable to you for a while. Unless you specifically call them off the search.
That's
so
okay.
What would you like to do with the church?
It is dealing with any of the remaining damage on the bottom floors. Just repairing and getting rid of mold and mildew and water damage. Maybe fix what. Maybe get out all the weird mold books that have stacked down there.
Yeah, the basement's going to be a challenge. It's been sitting vacant for quite a while.
Well, at least for vampires, so that means we have extra power.
Right.
Supposedly.
Depending on how habitable you want to make it, I guess I should say. For like long-term book storage, it will take a while.
It's for human habitation, so
Do
clean.
you or the 3 you are keeping with you have any craft or any too many physical skills for fixing things up? I know you don't.
I have craft carpentry.
Oh,
that's
me
my
too.
specialty.
Okay. So just give me a dexterity and craft.
Oh no.
This will just kind of gauge how long it's going to take you. It's not a fail.
2.
Okay. So with your instructions, they do a fair amount of the labor for you while you go and actually do some of the touching up and fixing it and making sure things are okay. There is some foundation issues, but nothing you have to worry about immediately. Just depending on how long you choose to stay here. It's not going to cave in on you or anything.
That's going to be expensive.
It will. But again, it's not something you immediately have to concern yourself with. It's just something to note.
Oh yeah, do I have to do another 3 rouse checks? Because it is technically another day.
It is. And yes, but no. We will hand wave that moving forward unless you choose to not feed. If you are specifically not feeding, then we are going to have rolls. If you are feeding, you'll stay low enough that it'll be okay.
Okay. Good.
How do you choose to feed?
Life Dodge would usually prefer to feed on a herd. However, since his herd is not quite ready, he's just choosing random people on the street and going, hey, come this way.
Okay.
And just using a forgetful mind.
Okay. Not a problem there. You can find at least one person a night, and as long as you don't drain them, you'll be okay. Yeah. So, that will take you a while to do, but you make good progress on the first night. Have you had anything done with the holes that you had dug outside, or are they just open?
They're just open for now. Just they're existing for in case of emergencies.
Okay. It's been a few days that they've been out and open now.
Rats might start moving in.
No,
So
I'm
that was a good
just
starting point.
be aware that it's been a few days since you've had them dug.
Maybe I should fill them in soon. It'll be fine.
There are people who walk around and who have seen them. They're not exactly hidden.
It'll be fine.
Okay. So that is the 24th. Moving into the next day. I will be back in just a moment, but you guys can... Someone can start talking. I will only be a minute.
Let's obviously go drive by the church and see if the holes are still there. He might use one as a dumping ground for a person he ate.
How dare you? Don't do that.
There'll be lice for them.
Yes, but also no.
When Life notices a dead body in one of those holes, he's gonna just go, oh, I have to take care of this, don't I?
Anything. Or just throw dirt on top. Either way, it will work.
Melt the body. The fastest, cleanest answer.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like the substances or fires that it would take to do that might attract a little attention, but okay.
No, ashes. Don't shake your head at us.
So does Zepp legitimately use it as a dumping ground for somebody?
No, I was
Okay.
just joking about that.
That's what I thought.
That was my hope.
So, what is happening? Who is going first? If you have anything you want to do on the 25th.
Zep's going first because it makes the most sense time-wise.
Yes, because you are doing something in the day. You daywalker, you. Remind me of the rules of that, by the way. It has been a minute since I have looked that up.
Health is halved while in the sunlight. Health is halved. You can use disciplines. And if you go into torpor while in the daylight, you pretty much are stuck in that until night happens.
Okay. Okay. So you are definitely feeling the pull of the sun, unfortunately. But you've done this enough that you shake it off and can get done what you want to do. There's a decent amount of people out. It's still a little chilly, but people are out going about their business, and the closer you get to downtown and the casino, the more people there are. It does die off the closer you get to the casino itself, which, while unusual, isn't so because of how long it's been closed. What exactly would you like to do?
Zip is going to drive up to the casino, see if people are there, trying to figure out why the casino is still closed. Because he assumes that there are people trying to get in and get their gambling fix.
There are. And mind you, there are other casinos in the city. But that specific one has been closed a while. And people are still driving up to it to check on it. And there are cars and stuff around. So there are people there. You don't see anyone if you look in, which again is just so odd. There does appear to be a note on the door that says, apologies for the extended closure. There have been remodels that have been taking place. And it does not have a date of reopening, but it does say that more information will come soon for a reopening.
I'll take a look at that. He'll drive up a little bit, and if anyone's willing to talk, see if we can get any information from them about any news that they know of the casino.
So there's not really any people in the casino. Like, you see cars, but you don't see people milling around the parking lot or anything other than a few people driving up to seemingly to check on it.
Right, but I mean, he's going to go out a little bit further, see if he can pick up information.
Gotcha. Go ahead and give me charisma and persuasion, or streetwise. Or you can do intimidation if you want to go the scary route.
We'll do streetwise.
Okay.
Right.
You do talk to a few people, and none of them really have too much information because they're just people passing by on the street. One person that you stop does actually tell you that they have seen people going in and out of it. There doesn't seem to be any construction crews, which they think is weird, given the fact that it's a remodel. But they have seen people coming in and out, so maybe they are doing something internally only. There's been one big van or one big truck that they've seen, but nothing that would really resemble construction stuff, but maybe they missed it. Been a lot of guys coming in and out that they've seen. A lot of them look fairly strong, so maybe it is some internal thing that they're dealing with.
Thank him and then move on.
Okay. So armed with that slightly bit of new information, would you like to do anything else?
Head back to the Haven and get some rest.
Okay. So we will leave you there for quite a while. So as the night turns, is there anything our kindred would like to do? Our non-day walking kindred.
I do actually plan to text one of the other party members.
Okay. Feel free.
Hey, Uriel. I was wondering if you know anything about the weird ones.
Question mark, question mark, question mark. Can I get a little context?
I'm not very good at coded language, so just swing by my place later. I'll explain.
Sure.
That is one of the things that life will do.
Okay. When would
just
Uriel
weird
go?
out? Uriel would take about an hour or two beforehand to kind of wake up, get themselves ready, check their usual means of communication, make sure they haven't missed anything or nothing's waiting for them.
Nothing out of the normal. Some regular updates. You seem to have been emailed a form to sign for taking an extended leave of absence. A vacation of sorts. Do you fill it out, or are you waiting, or would you like to do something else?
Uriel's not going to touch that right now. They're a little bit concerned and perplexed because they very clearly gave a resignation letter. So we'll deal with that in a little bit. First, as they're getting ready, they are going to try and rack their brains to figure out if they can piece together, knowing what they know about life, what the weird ones might be in reference to.
I think that would be a relatively difficult role, but you can certainly try to do wits and insight.
Okay. No.
Likely not.
One, and I'm not re-rolling it. If it's outside the pool.
Yeah. You would need at least a 4 or 5 to even begin to think about that.
Mm-hmm.
Seeing as you've spent 1 or 2 evenings with them.
Mm-hmm.
So you have no idea what you're going for.
Yeah. Uriel is going to send a text privately to Rufus, letting him know that Life wants to have a conversation. Should I tell him to come over and meet you sometime?
Yes, as a matter of fact, if they would want to come over at the end of the evening. Busy at the beginning, but I will be back. At least for a little bit. I also have to talk to the Chevy characters as well, so.
You're either going to like him or hate him, and I'm curious to see which.
Judging by his actions, probably hate. But it's okay.
Thumbs up emoji.
So Uriel goes?
Yep.
Hey, Life. About an hour or 2 after you message Uriel, they arrive.
So, do you know about Thin Bloods?
I assume we have been escorted inside before having this conversation, yes?
Oh yes, of course.
Okay. I know a bit why.
I'm trying to get my Thin Bloods in with other Thin Blood crowds. They just need to learn more about themselves.
Uriel's kind of suspicious about this. They're gonna insight check Life.
Okay. Life. If you are attempting to be at least a little bit evasive, go ahead and give either charisma or manipulation and subterfuge. If you are being earnest, go ahead and give me charisma and persuasion, but do not tell me which one you're rolling. Not yet.
I will rouse the blood though as well.
Okay. What did you roll? Just the amount, not what stats.
Oh, I just rolled the rouse check for this.
Okay.
You and a bestial.
Roll me a d10.
I have a D10 right there. 1.
That you thought you were fine when you pulled on the innate essence of your beast. You were not. It's all-consuming hunger is a little bit more forceful than normal. You don't actually gain a hunger, but you feel it more. And what did you roll? Buttons.
3.
So, since you rolled a 2, what did you roll? Were you earnest or were you attempting to be a little manipulative?
Manipulation subterfuge.
So, Buttons, Uriel, you catch the lies. You see it. Not immediately, but after a second, that's suspicious.
Well, I gotta be honest, I personally don't have too much connection to the Thin Bloods. Rufus has been the one dealing with them the most. If you want to get in connection with them, I would recommend talking to him first.
Ah, okay. I will talk to Rufus sometime when I get this place running.
How about tonight?
Hey, that'll work.
Excellent. Now, what is this about the weird ones?
Oh, that was Thin Bloods. Yeah.
Where did you hear that name for them? I've never heard that before.
It's just what I wanted to call them because I didn't want to say Thin Bloods on the phone.
Okay. So, is there anything else you needed?
Do you know how to deal with mold?
Yes. In what context? My expertise is mostly in book and painting restoration, so I can deal with like cloth, but if you're talking about wood or an infestation of linoleum, not as much.
How about you come down into the lower floors of this church? There's a lot of problems.
Yeah, I can take a look. I have some time.
Thank you. And life is just going to go down into the bowels of the church.
As Uriel follows, what does Uriel see? Because they'll be paying very close attention.
The first floor that you go into is an actual library. There is one section that has a door to it, and the rest is just open books. Some of them are general occult stuff. Some of it's actually religious studies. And there is a section of children books, but it's very small. Not interesting. Like, it's... And then standard books right next to the children's books. There is just weird array of books basically right there. And then the next section, the next floor, because this is a 3-story building, but with 2 underneath, it's not foundational for a good reason, is just rooms, like 6 rooms, weirdly spaced.
Interesting layout. What's the history of this place?
Not quite sure. I got it recently and haven't been looking into it because it's kind of awful and destroyed. There is one clean room at the bottom that you can tell life has kind of like decided to make a kind of living area, but like it's... If you looked at the forbidden section, that's more where he would be about.
Uriel makes a mental note to ask their contact in the city records if they have any information publicly available on this church.
Life will probably not ask about it. He then also shows you a pile of destroyed books that is just not in great shape.
Well, I can see what you mean. What kind of books are we dealing with? Are they like really, really old books, or are they just like mildewed hymnals? What have we got?
Well, this one, as he pulls out a book, is a Stephen King's book. That's the only part of the cover that I've read, and he just puts it down and goes to the next book and goes, yeah, this is I don't know. It's also destroyed. It's covered in mold, as he just opens it and the pages start falling out.
Well, as Uriel very carefully takes the book from life and sets it back down, some of these might be beyond repair. Some of these can be easily replaced. If there are some older books or books that are more valuable to you, I would be happy to offer my services in restoration for a nominal fee, of course.
Oh, is there a friend's discount maybe?
We can work something out.
Oh, okay. And Life will search the pile for any books that might be useful, like for kindred, but there isn't really much there. There is.
Roll me a dice and tell me if you pass or fail, or if it lands on a critical.
So close. Just a pass.
There is one book that is useful to occult studies, but not kindred specific. It is a little bit of a rarer book. Not sure how it got down here or why was left in a pile to just mildew and rot, but there is one that could be useful when added to a library.
Life is going to carefully pull a book from the middle of the pile that is obviously like not touching other books besides the one that it's on top of, which is strangely a placeholder book that isn't damaged except for where it was touching other books. And he is going to give it to you.
Uriel will turn it over, look at it. Could probably fix this. What kind of general occult? Are we just talking like general occult knowledge or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Things that when needing to be referenced would be a good addition to a library. Not anything specific, but
it
Uriel
wouldn't
kinda
go in. Oh, sorry.
Uriel kind of looks at it for a minute as they turn it over very carefully. Tell you what, I'll repair this for you if you allow me a little extra time with it before I return it so I can make a copy for my own purposes.
Oh,
you can
okay.
keep the original, but if I can make a copy, we could call it even.
Yeah, that works for me. I just need it for the general section. I don't think it would go in my forbidden. At least there's nothing in it obviously too bad.
Okay. Well, we can certainly start here and see where this goes.
Perfect. And he's just gonna rub his hands a little bit evilly, like he got what he wanted. And then he's just going to walk further into the bowels of the church and start working on fixing it.
leaving Uriel alone.
Yeah.
So Uriel, as you are left alone, no one else is here. What would you like to do?
Uriel's gonna explore. Get the general layout of the area, admire some of the old rotting workings. Take the place in.
You check the forbidden area. Like the forbidden section of the library.
I mean, they will explore the entire, as much as they can of the entire place. If they come upon a locked door, they're not going to force the lock.
Well, it's not locked.
It's not locked. Uriel's going to stroll right in.
Well, there is random occult accoutrement along with the mask on the desk right now, just being examined, it seems. There is also a sleeping bag in the corner that looks to just have a lot of pillows on it. There is another desk that has nothing on it right now, and a file cabinet that has the key above it.
Uriel's going to prowl the books, see what kind of occult stuff is kept in the quote-unquote forbidden section.
Well, the first book you will see will be a diary. Will you read it?
Uriel will make a note of it, but will not pick it up.
Next book is another diary.
Confused, Uriel will take a step back and look at the whole shelf. Do they all seem to be diaries?
Some of them are a little bit more derelict or just not legible in English. Like, it's a weird collection of diaries, some of which you might notice are more in line with like a kindred diary, and then others that are just human diaries.
Uriel's gonna look for a very old looking kindred diary.
You will find one, and there is random notes on the first page. If you decide to open it.
Of course they are. So what's the context of this? Well, first of all, what language is it in?
It's just in English. Like, it's in Old English, though.
That's fine. That's actually one of the languages Uriel knows.
Yeah. You will see in like random like cliff notes, by the way, Life Dodge is like Old English, because there's two handwritings. His sire's and his. It's Life Dodge's sire's diary, which is a Nagaraja, so it will have weird stuff, oblivion, and just talking about just like day-to-day weirdness that he would have encountered.
Okay. Uriel is going to be very mindful of the time at this point and pull out their phone and snap some photos of a handful of entries, some of the more interesting looking ones, before replacing the diary and then leaving.
You probably spent 15-20 minutes since you were left by Life Dodge, if you were hurrying a little bit and just skimming things. So you make your way out. You would probably pass one of the people that you've seen around Life Dodge before as you exit. Just cleaning. And they just kind of eye you as you leave.
Oh, Life knows I'm here, but I'm heading out now.
Okay.
Just continue out.
Okay. So, after that slightly strange interaction, would you like to do anything specific?
Go. Let's see. Uriel will just go straight back to the school with the book in hand and spend whatever time they have prepping what supplies they have. See what they still need to get their hands on to be able to restore the book that Life is loaning them.
I feel like that's some of the stuff you would have taken with you. You wouldn't have left that. So you have your things, and while they're more geared towards art and other things like that, you could probably make it work. You've enough skill and have done this long enough that you could make it work. Do you actually have that as a craft or in academics? Restoration?
Yes, craft, art, restoration.
I'll let you use it, so go ahead and give me... Is your wits or dexterity better?
Wits is better.
I'll let you use wits for this, because while it's a dexterous craft, you need to be careful with it. So go ahead and give me that.
Okay. 4.
It wasn't heavily damaged, so you are able to take care of it with minimal issues. But it will take you a while.
Mm.
So before we roll around to the end of the evening, what would Rufus like to do?
So he has his meeting with Leon,
Yes.
and then with Varia, which we're going to do off camera.
Yep.
We technically have already done. And then just sending a message to Chevy saying, we need to talk, come out of school. Which again, I feel like it's an off-camera thing because I don't want to talk to myself.
I feel that. Yeah. So you would get a response from Chevy. I will let you decide what that exact response is. Varia will message saying, hey, I'm free in a couple hours. I heard you have a meeting with someone else. Let me know when that's done. I'll meet you there and we can... In quotes, it says walk and talk.
Sounds good. And as far as Chevy's response, it's going to be, the principal's got me in trouble. Or something of that nature.
Being called to the principal's office.
Probably again in there. But yeah, something like that. But
So-
first, strategically had parked up near Leon's at the beginning of the evening.
Yes. So Evelyn would ask you if you would mind coming to Leon instead of the opposite.
Yeah, he assumed as much. So he was already up that way.
So she lets you know that you can come over whenever you would like. Today.
Oh good, I'm about a mile and a half away. Be there in not too long.
I will meet you at the gate.
I will be there. Waiting.
And you do. And when you make it to the gate, she is not far out. Going down on her little moped.
Yeah.
If you would allow it, she would load her bike up into the back of your van and drive with you. But if not, she will have no issue just driving.
Yeah, that wouldn't be too difficult to do.
Okay. So yeah, she'll drive with you. Do you have any questions for her?
Not for her, actually. Would, however, be courteous and make what small talk would make sense for those two. Obviously not like a how's the family, but like how's he treating you? Everything satisfactory type thing. Very awkward.
She'll respond kind of just as awkwardly. She's used to dealing with corpses that don't talk back to her. So you do eventually make it to Leon's actual area, and she escorts you down. And you're actually led to a different area than you typically have seen him in, which is a workroom. This one, you're led into almost a sitting area. There is a small couch, table, chairs.
We're good.
Okay.
Just had to make a motion toward, oddly enough, Kata. Being a cat, trying to knock stuff off the counter.
As one does.
Yes. Sorry.
But yeah, you're led into almost like a sitting area, which you have not seen before.
Okay. He would not necessarily make himself at home, but wouldn't pass up the chance to make himself comfortable enough.
There is a few shelves with books on them. There is no TV or anything down here. There is a radio, but it's not actually a radio. It more so just looks like one and is a record player.
Yeah.
Do you need to go?
Give me just a second. I'm going to get this cat out of this thing.
Okay.
Jerk. Anyway, I'm
It's
here.
cat.
Yes. Okay, I'm back.
You're muted.
You are left alone there for a few minutes while Evelyn goes to grab Leon. And there is some music playing. It's just the light. Kind of. You think it's jazz? It's kind of in one of those transition things. It's not quite jazz.
Elevator music.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just quiet enough that there's background noise, but not really a focus of anything.
Yeah. He would honestly not get into anything. He'd just leave everything where it is.
Okay. So Leon does come in after a few minutes. His typical corpse-like visage, kind of a gray cloak that you've seen him wear. And he will take a seat at the
When he
table.
walks in,
Go ahead.
when he walks in, he'd do the normal Rufus greeting, and take a seat after he does.
And so he just sits there for a moment before... What did you want to ask?
Well, I do have a couple questions. First and foremost, I would like to apologize. I was not here to take care of the issue that you had called upon me for. There was other matters that I was attending to outside of the city that were more pressing for what I see as the obvious issues that didn't really.
As far as I'm concerned, it's handled, so I don't care. Your coterie did it, so you have made it fine.
Speaking of, they handled themselves well, I assume.
One more time?
All things considered. Speaking of them, I assume that they handled themselves well.
Yes, they accomplished what they set out to do and had no issues upon their return, other than being slightly damaged.
I understand that they picked up a couple acquaintances along the way. One, Chevy, I don't have a last name for them. And then one, Life Dodge, yes?
I don't really know who they are.
Heard concerning things specifically out of Life Dodge, more so relating to what most people would know as our adolescent Nosferatu friend.
Yes, there
hang in the city.
was some concerning things there. If you choose to associate with him, you should be aware that he was asking questions about demons.
That is what I have come to understand. I was wondering because, like, you would know more than I would on this particular topic if you know anything. That I should know that isn't already obvious heading in.
I do not deal with demons. I deal with other occult things. And he will actually get up and pick up a book that was sitting on the table and bring it over to, like, sitting on the coffee table and bring it over to the table. And it is an older book, and it does talk about the legends of Detroit. And he will actually hand it to you if you want to look through it. And it does talk of the actual legend behind Nain Rouge, which is that it came from, it's believed to come from native myths that are mixed with French folk tales.
Okay.
And that the founder of Detroit is actually the one who they say brought the curse of the demon upon the city because they insulted it and cursed it to go away.
To be fair, that seems accurate and appropriate.
I don't have books on actual demons.
Well, this is well, I already knew the myth behind. If this is all you have, this is all you have. It was a long shot as far as if you knew anything. I don't know. Your expertise is certainly not that, but I do know you delve into the supernatural. So,
what are you trying to find?
Exactly how big of an issue what life apparently is interested in is. I know it's an issue. I know it's big enough that there are multiple wars fighting something similar.
What do you know of the Bali?
There were 2 wars? 3 wars? I don't remember. There were multiple wars against them, and everyone versus them. They're problematic. They are not even arguably absolutely worse than any Sabbat or Black Hand or anything would want to be.
I don't know what connections your new friend has to them, but if he is inquiring about demons, I would be careful.
So it would be wise to keep both eyes on them, not just one.
I can make inquiries, but I need someone to be the messenger.
I have a couple of them, as long as it's not too dangerous. I'm willing to put them on the task.
Danger, possibly. They would need to go to Chicago, which is the last place I heard this specific kindred is.
In that case, I have another one that I think would be a little bit more willing. They're going to be going on a run here soon anyway.
A moment, please. And he'll stand up and actually go to one of the bookshelves and pull out some parchment, and a fountain pen and wax sealing. stuff and sit at the table and pen a letter, which he will then seal and hand to you.
Rufus will actually be impressed that he has A, a fountain pen, and B, like, actually handwrote the letter. I will hand this to my person. Their name is Tiller, by the way. They're Nosferatu. They are courier of sorts. Who exactly is this being sent to?
The person you need to send it to, I will get you the name for. Evelyn has to make a few inquiries, but she will have it to you within an hour or two.
Like just enough time for me to get hold of Killer and get a meet set up. It's not 100% sure where they are right now. Told me if I had something for them to do and money to pay them, then they'll do whatever I want.
Heard you had access to King's library.
For you, I'll confirm that. For most, I'll be more dodgy.
I would like to peruse and take one book with your approval. That's what I ask in return.
Arrange that. Sure, we can arrange that. It wouldn't be too difficult. You might get more resistance from Uriel, but then again, the library is not in their property, is it?
No.
And it's not like it's lost to time, just over here. Requires more permissions to get their hands on.
Exactly. But whatever I take would be with your approval.
Absolutely. We can arrange for a tour whenever you feel like you want to step out.
Perhaps in a few days.
That works for me. If I'm not there, I can appoint someone to help you go around and take a look.
Good. And he will actually hold out his hand if you would like to shake it.
He actually will.
It is gross.
I'm sure it is.
Feels very,
Nice
very
and
corpse-like.
Yeah. Rufus will do his best to just keep himself together and just, yeah, it's fine.
There doesn't seem to be any offense taken if you show any recoiling. He's fully aware of what he is.
Yeah, I feel like he probably is. No, Rufus would do his best to not actually recoil.
Give me a composure and resolve.
I'm pretty good at this.
Just to see how good you are at hiding that.
So 5.
Oh, so you did very good, and you can see a little bit of a nod of respect from him.
Like I said, just let me know when you're going to want to have that tour, and we'll make that happen.
A few days. Evelyn will contact you, if that's okay.
That is perfectly fine by me. In the meantime, I would say stay safe, but I don't think I have to worry about that with you.
I am likely the safest one in the city.
Yes, absolutely. Have fun with your studies. I assume you're doing studies. Or experiments. Either way, it's not my business. Have fun doing whatever it is that you do.
It is appreciated. And you, be careful.
As much as one like me can.
And he will actually show you out himself.
I feel privileged.
You should.
But yeah, once Rufus is back to the van, he will give Tiller an immediate call and set up, hey, I've got something that needs to go to Chicago. I'll tell you exactly who when I drop it.
He hems and haws a little bit, but we'll agree.
Also, I need you to go to Atlanta, set them up for me.
What? Why there?
It's for Charlotte. It's gonna make us, well, it's gonna make you a lot of money. It makes me break even, being able to pay the people that I need to pay. You being one of them.
Give me what information I need.
I said, when I have the information as to who, I will let you know that I am ready to drop this off to you. Are you relatively close by?
Depends on where you are.
In the city.
Yeah, I'm in the city. Or at least
That's all I need to know.
half
Close
an
enough.
hour.
It's close enough. If you want to stop by at some point at the school, I'll be there for the majority of the rest of it. We can do a very quick handoff.
I'll swing by when you have a name.
To be, I was told, about an hour. So
I'll be there.
thank you.
Yeah.
So yeah. After hanging up with him, would call Chevy, make sure that Chevy's actually on his way, and get hold of Aria, make sure that she's available and ready to go.
Yep.
And then have those conversations.
Yes, she had been waiting on you.
Which hers is a really very quick 10-minute conversation. And
Yep.
Chevy's is a 35-minute chewing out. Which Chevy does not take well to, but at the end of the day, there's okay, I guess we can kind of work together. Because I get where you're coming from, type thing.
Easy enough. So, you have one more meeting to take care of as you return to the school. Evelyn would message you with the name of Laura Chappelle with an address.
Yes. Okay.
And also with the information that it can be delivered at any time of the day.
That is interesting. So yeah, when Tiller does get there, he would get that. And by the way, when you leave to go to Atlanta, stop by Charlotte. She's going to send one of her people with you. She was adamant for at least the first shipment that somebody goes with you. I don't know exactly who, so don't expect specifics from me.
Okay.
I'm sure it's probably just a security thing.
Whatever. As long as they don't cause me problems.
They shouldn't, but I'm not 100% sure. But in any case, if they do, let me know and I will have words with Charlotte.
Yeah.
I think I'm one of the few that are actually able to stand up to her socially.
Yeah, I ain't poking that bear.
The thorns on that rose aren't as big as it seems.
For you, maybe. Not for someone like me. And he just gestures to his whole self.
This is normally where I'd try to make a joke. However, I think it would be not necessarily lost on you, but I don't think you'd find it fun.
Eh.
Something about makeup and makes the world of difference, but I don't think you would find that fun.
Only so much foundation can do.
In any case, if you run into any issues or any delays, please let me know so I can up-channel it to the proper people.
Okay.
The parchment is unrelated to everything else.
Do you want me to take care of that before I go do Charlotte's shit?
That might not necessarily hurt.
Just add a couple days on. Sure, whoever you're working with can wait.
I feel like I can probably trust you enough to tell you that it's Leon that has sent this.
I meant who you're working, whoever I'm going down to Atlanta for can wait.
She's busy enough, I'm sure it'll be fine.
Yeah, guess I'll be back in a couple days. Depending on how long it takes me to find this person.
You do have an address. That it can be dropped off anytime, so you don't have to drop it off to actual courier service and have them drop it off. Doable. I know it's not necessarily your...
No, I do courier shit. I've done it before. I know the roads. Maybe not as well as you do, but probably not too far off.
Depends on exactly where we go. If you have me on class. Either way, stay safe. And any issues, let me know. I'll try to make the issues go away again.
Sure. You got anyone down in Atlanta I need to contact in case things go wrong down there? Or should I just still go through you?
Probably wouldn't hurt to. In case if you can't get hold of me, I'm going to give you the person that you're actually going to be taking the majority of the stuff up from, and we'll actually give Killer Tori's number.
Okay. He will put that in his phone. They know about us? Am I going to be a problem showing up?
No, you'll be fine.
Okay.
What you're picking up from Atlanta is, I don't know exactly what kind of alcohol, but it's alcohol we can drink.
Really?
Yes.
I'll believe it when I see it. Or taste it, as the case may be. Gotta let me have one.
Please drink responsibly.
Yeah.
You can have as much as you want, as long as it's coming out of your money.
I just don't believe that's gonna happen. So, I gotta have at least... I'll try at least one.
That's fair. In any case, have fun, stay safe, buckle up, even though you don't necessarily need to, but still. Take it purposes, buckle up. Oh, I know you do. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here.
I can't get pulled over.
Must be nice. I can't get pulled over in certain city now, which is wonderful. But
Where'd you get kicked out of this time? I'm assuming you got kicked out before.
no. I've only been kicked out of one place, and I can go back there now.
No.
Change of management. Wonderful thing. South Carolina.
Fuck that place.
They were uptight. Yeah, they were uptight, and they still are, but not as bad.
I'm gonna go so I can make some miles before daylight.
Sounds good.
And he will take it and head off. When would you like to get hold of life? Via Uriel.
Well, already. Uriel's already back, correct?
Yes. Uriel's been working on restoring a book.
After the talk with Hitler, he would just pop his head and knock on the door frame. Be like, if you want to call them over, you may. I am more than free now.
Okay, cool. And Uriel will send a quick text over to Life. Hey, you should come over.
Life will respond within relatively quick speed. Okay. And probably come over in like... Get ready to come over in 5 minutes. Be there in like...
It would take you a little bit because almost opposite end of the city. But without dawdling, it wouldn't be too long.
He takes a cab.
Probably would be pretty hard to get, but you could get like an Uber or something.
Uber it is.
Or Lyft, whatever. You can get a ride.
A ride share.
Yeah, you can get a ride. And they just make general small talk as they get you to where you're going.
I don't need to feed off them. It's fine. Just talk to them about random happenings in the town and nothing interesting.
They do talk to you about how weird it is that the casino has been closed for so long. It's pretty popular. Talk about a couple things that they're excited to go see at the Opera House. There's rumors that they're getting a special showing that wasn't actually announced, so no one knows what it is yet, but there's been talk about a special thing being brought in unannounced.
Oh, interesting. I actually really expected the casino to be open sooner.
Yeah, it's
I was
weird
planning
that it was
to
even
waste
closed in
my
the
money.
first place. It doesn't really close.
Most casinos don't really. It's really weird.
Yeah, this is why it's been like a couple weeks now. This is almost unheard of.
Yeah.
And then they...
You want to meet at the casino later?
I mean, it's closed.
And
unless
maybe
you want a different one.
there might be stuff in there that'll be fun to look at, like construction and whatnot.
I mean, not really. You're just a paying customer.
Yeah, fair.
Then they quickly drop you off after that. They might push the speed limits.
They fear for their safety.
Yes. So you were dropped off at the school. And they peel off rather quickly.
That might be one of the more creepy locations to have chosen too.
Yes.
Like, this person just goes, oh.
You may be blacklisted now.
Well, I'm never using Lyft again.
At least from them.
1-star review on app, apparently. He'll be fine. Life will knock on the door.
Uriel will probably be waiting nearby to make sure that you, 1, arrive, 2, arrive safely, and then 3, to show you to wherever it is Rufus is doing his thing.
Life is going to relay information about the weird opera news.
Huh.
Yeah,
Odd.
I think I'm gonna try to find out more because that sounds like fun.
Yeah, let me know what you find out.
It could, and this is me stretching my imagination, could be an Elysium popping up.
Uriel goes quiet at that, but continues to walk towards Rufus's setup.
So you show him to Rufus's office. I'm assuming that's where Rufus would like to meet?
He is using the actual principal's office as the office.
Life does look, if we pass by the library, to see if there's any books in there.
You would.
Nope, that's on the second floor.
Principal's on the first, library's up top.
Knock, knock, knock.
Rufus would probably just be standing in there. There's not actually any furniture. That's his meeting room right now.
What a power move.
Would thank Yuri. Yeah. Would thank Yuri, and then turn to Life. So you are the new acquaintance that my acquaintances have met. I met the other one earlier. He seems unique. I've heard that you are also fairly unique.
I don't think I'm that unique.
Well, a caitiff that's open about being such is fairly unique. Someone that is open about interest in demons is fairly unique. And I also hear that you have a church of your own.
Yes. It's in disrepair and might need to have construction done on it foundationally.
That's fair. Which one exactly is it? If you don't have an actual
location, gives location. Okay. Forgot what name it is.
So above table, we don't typically use the real life names of places unless it's a historical place. So yeah, you just give the name and address.
Yeah. And Rufus will immediately be like, I remember where that is. Used to be nice. In any case, I do have a couple questions. Nothing overly concerning. I just want to know the full intention, exactly what I'm getting myself into. We choose to continue to invite you on our escapades, which I don't even know first and foremost would be something that you'd want to do. In any case, you do understand the risk of being so open, right?
I think it's a good rule of thumb to be open to those around you.
But first you have to know that you can trust them.
If you're open enough, most people trust you anyway.
Or people like to take advantage. Which is more often than not the case. So I would caution against being so open in the future. You can still do what you want to do. You're your own person. It's just my 2 cents about it. Been around for quite a while, and keeping certain cards close to your chest, and that's the worst thing in the world. Now, second thing. What exactly is your want? And I assume you're going to attempt to actually restore the church and the practice at the church. I assume it's probably not traditional mortal religions that you're practicing.
Yeah, it's mostly going to be about Nyan Rouge. That's my object of worship, my deity. There's a lot to do with the church before I start getting worshippers and gathering people.
Okay. So with that, you understand the risk of having that as your object of worship. Yes. You understand that that's going to, in certain eyes, label you as what one would call a Bali. Do you even know what a Bali is?
I assume I know what a Bali is, Storyteller.
Give
at
me
least a little bit.
Occult and intelligence and add your dice.
Would demon be a part of it?
Yeah, that's why I said add your extra dice.
Ah.
And actually, how many dots of a library do you have?
I have 1 dot in library.
So add, I forget if it's 1 or 2 dice.
I think it's 1.
Yeah. So add 1 extra dice.
Wow. That was slightly disappointing of a roll. I will spend a willpower.
Okay.
3, 6.
Do you have 6? Yes, you have heard of them before. You know that they are kindred who pledge themselves to demons, or pledge the other way. You're not sure of the specifics, but you know it is kindred who are bound or have bound demons. You know that there have been wars fought against them. You know that they have been mostly culled. You know that many of them were called for a reason. But not necessarily all of them, to your knowledge. You don't know all of them. You don't know too many specifics. You know that they were gifted abilities from the demons. But you don't know how they were made. You don't know how they're embraced. You don't know specifics.
Back to Rufus. I know a little about the Bali. I don't know everything. I know there's wars fought against them.
So you understand the negative connotations that would come being labeled as one.
Yes.
Or a sympathizer of.
Yeah. It could go poorly, but...
Yes, there are... I'm not the only one in the city that would be none too happy to actually have one of their kind open and openly practicing. And I'm just going to tell you that flat out. You can do whatever research it is you want to do. It is a purely academic setting. If you want to understand them, want to understand the truth that is behind. However, if you actually take the step into it and it is found out, I'm not going to protect you. I'm just going to tell you that 100% honestly. And
that is fair.
At that point, I will point Zep and Chris at you. And they will do whatever it is that they feel like they want to do.
Zep and Chris.
Yes.
I know one
My
of them,
Finland.
and they scare me.
Good. There's a reason why I decided that I was going to pay Zep to stay. Chris is a thin blood that was put into less than perfect circumstances. Quite a close connection that we have. I'm not quite their sire, obviously, but I have taken on the majority of the home.
So you have been taking Thin Bloods under your wing.
Yes. As a matter of fact, the leader of the Thin Bloods, I helped her actually gain their own domain of sorts. They actually did the legwork, but helped establish the presence and the acceptance.
Would you mind helping my Thin Blood coterie? Just getting more, ingrained into their culture.
Under one circumstance.
Yes.
Don't lie to me. Exactly why do you want them to be ingrained more into? Is it a truly that's what you want, or is it you want to gain more of them to help you out? Either way, I can fully respect it. Not necessarily to say that I'll support it, but I can respect it if you're honest with me.
It's a little bit of column A. I want them to know more about how Thin Blood alchemy works and to be able to utilize it better to protect themselves. But also, power is very helpful. And having strong people work for you is good.
Yes, it is. I can tell you from my experience and what I've seen, the ones that actually can do alchemy are very few and far between. So, if that's what you want, not necessarily to say Detroit's the worst place in the world to learn it. However, it's not the best. Now, as far as column B, they might be a little bit more resistant than you would expect to follow anyone, really. Besides T. So you do exactly whatever it is that you feel like you want to do. But as long as we're completely honest with each other, I'm not going to interfere with what you do, as long as you don't interfere with what I do. Do you have that understanding?
Yeah. I'll avoid messing up what you do. And I'll even try to help you.
Because I'm sure that you've probably heard some of my dealings and goings on as far as what the school is intended for long term and who I serve in the community.
I haven't gotten too much of that, actually.
Well,
but I've kind of heard that you're the leader in the coterie a little bit.
I would like to say that I am. However, somebody says I'm not. They can believe that. And at this point, he'll actually pull his necklace out. And it's just a little silver cross. He's like, this is what I do for the community. I deal with the people that are typically thrown on the fringes, not necessarily by their own doing, the wants, or the homeless, the misplaced, the displaced, and maybe the less than savory, depending on exactly what that less than savory entails. Not exclusively what I deal with. I do have a police officer. I do have a couple other like construction workers and blue collar workers in general. But typically that's what I deal with. So I would request that as you are around the city, if you can just leave that part out of whatever plans that you have until I can give you my blessing, till I know your full intention. Which, if you play your cards right, I won't ever know.
I was planning something.
What were you planning?
I was planning to turn the bottom layer of the church that I am currently residing in into a little bit of a shelter for those in need of shelter.
That's what the gymnasium's for here. I have a multi-level that we do quite nicely. So
it's probably better.
As long as there's no nefarious deeds going on in that bottom layer of your church, that's fine by me.
Nothing bad will happen in the bottom layer of the church.
In any part of the church.
In any part of the church, I cannot guarantee. But I can guarantee that nothing wrong will happen in the bottom or in the second floor basement.
Certainly a start. Life, if you feel as though you need assistance or guidance, I am available to be reached. Means reach out. Then I'll be in touch.
Sure. I will, what is your number then?
Right. You don't actually have it. And he will actually give Life his number.
Life will write it down or write it down in his contacts. And I am curious about one thing. What is your plan for the library here?
Mostly private stocks. Mostly restricted.
What do you have
I don't
so
know
far?
exactly what. I don't know. That would be something that you would have to talk to Uriel about. I know a few items. I do know that in a few days I will be one book short. Beyond that, I'm not 100% sure. If I had to guess, it's probably esoteric knowledge on electronics, communications, and supernatural beings.
That's a
But I'm not
wide
fully
range of topics.
I received it from a Nosferatu, so I'm just guessing.
Uriel, they are in that the room still, right?
They would not have it if Rufus would open the door for Life and then close it. Uriel wouldn't be in the room with them. They would be doing other things. But if Rufus had just like left the door open or whatever, they would have hung around. Yeah.
Yeah, Rufus would have just left the door open.
Life is going to turn to Uriel. So what is in the library?
I'll let you know when I'm done sorting.
I can help.
I'll let you know when I'm done sorting.
I'm very fast reader.
I'll let you know when I'm done sorting.
I can teach you a blood sorcery that's pretty interesting for reading.
If it's what I think it is, I already know it.
Aw.
And
It's very useful.
Another word of advice to reiterate one that I gave you earlier. Don't splash around that you know blood sorcery.
yeah,
I mean, you already know.
Yes, but I am not the representative of my clan. I am, if anything, an outlier amongst outliers. Any other Tremere hears you speaking about that, you will be marked as a target. This is part of why Rufus was so insistent that you keep your information to yourself.
wouldn't want to put ourselves on any list now, would we? Regardless of the color.
I'm learning quite fast that a lot of people really do not want me talking about things, even more than in high school and college.
To be fair, the biggest rule of our existence is don't let other people know we exist.
Oh,
Yes.
I know. It's the masquerade.
Yes.
Don't tell
And I would
humans.
assume,
You dance that line very closely sometimes.
yes, and I would assume that you're on the younger side just by how you conduct yourself. So take it from someone that is pushing, well, I'm over 100 now. If you have intelligence, use it. Dashing charm and quick wit get you just so far until you have to be smart about things.
I will try to be more diligent about who I share my stuff with.
Good answer.
Certainly not the worst answer that I've heard tonight. I don't have anything else that I'd like to speak with you about. If you have anything else that you'd like to ask me, by all means, go ahead. But I'm not going to keep you any longer. And we will be in touch. Exactly when, can't guarantee, but we will be in touch.
Okay. I do have plans to open my church in a week. If you would like to be there.
I probably will stop by and just take a look.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yes, and as far as anything that I do, it's typically on Wednesdays and Saturday evenings. Find Sundays are when the best soup kitchens are open, so I don't get as good turnout.
So you're saying there should be more soup kitchens. Gotcha.
That's another thing that I've got here. I actually have a cafeteria. The other wing, I'm still debating whether or not to go with the initial plan, which I probably will just for words' sake, but or completely go in a different direction. I don't know yet.
Well, I can read a couple cookbooks and maybe help out in the cafeteria.
Something tells me that people around here, as long as I buy proper food, they're more than capable and willing to volunteer with their community.
That's fair.
There's a reason why I picked here. It's rather tight knit, albeit on the lower end class scale.
So, with that conversation wrapping up, Life leaves back to his haven?
He's gonna walk around the grounds if allowed.
Uriel
But-
will escort him,
So you get your
even if they're
babysitter.
not asked to.
So you can be shown
Life will
around
leave.
probably the outside.
Everything except for the library.
So you can be shown around a little bit, but eventually you do make your way back. And everyone makes their way back to where they're sleeping. Rufus probably picks a different place tonight.
Yep.
So, your day sleep comes, and then the next evening. Was there anything specific that you guys wanted to do that we can run through quickly?
Uriel would want to spend their time researching the Nagaraja.
Okay.
And that's really all they'd want to do.
We will go over that after this game as to what you know. But that would take you a while to find specifics on.
Yeah, that's the only thing they'd want to do that day.
Okay. Zep?
Zep would try to get his hunger down this day.
Okay. You are an alley cat. How would you like to do this? Stealth or intimidation? Or are you just picking a fight with somebody?
Intimidation.
Okay. I will give you either charisma or manipulation.
Three.
You find someone, they're not fully in the right state of mind, so they may be drunk, they may be on something, but you scare them pretty well, and as they are leaving, you grab them and probably for a stranglehold, and then feed.
Yep.
And then lick it clean and let them go. You do feel the effects, though. They're on some good. Life, was there anything you would like to do?
More fixing of the church.
Okay. You guys, if you spend the entire night on it, do make a good chunk of progress. It is starting to look like it will be habitable.
Yay. Progress has been made.
Right. And Rufus.
So, Rufus would just very quickly run through the list of things that you would like to do. Drop off a letter in, well, somewhere to Ellie that he wrote. Say that he'll meet in 4 or 5 nights if she has any, or if she needs to make alterations to that. By all means, either send a letter or call.
Do you go to the hospital that you know she resides at?
He probably would and would ask for her specifically.
She would be unavailable that evening, but you are welcome to leave the letter with anyone at the desk. It has happened before, they tell you, and they have no issues with holding it.
That is really all he wanted to do anyway. So,
yep.
So yeah, leaves the letter, leaves as well, and then gets a hold of Buck and gets the repairs mobilized, starting with the roof.
Okay. He does, after he talks to them, he does get back with you saying that it would be best if no one is there because they will be doing construction mostly during the day. They have been instructed to leave the library alone as there is things that being done in there, restoration work, they were told. So they have been instructed to leave that be, but just in case, Buck recommends no one be staying there for the duration.
I will let them know. Should only really be 1 or 2 people.
Sounds good.
But
they should
let
be
them know
starting in a
don't.
couple days.
Okay. Sounds good. And then we'll do a quick check-in with Robinson, make sure everything's good on around. Good to go.
Yep. She gives you a quick summary of what she's been doing internally to quiet the incidents.
Yeah.
She rolled pretty well. So, not too many worries there. And just gives you a quick rundown. There hasn't been too many strange occurrences that she has heard of.
Okay.
You do get a message from Damien. Don't have a count yet, but people are seeing them.
Good. I mean, not good, but good.
And you were right. They're headed towards the eye.
Figured as much. That's what I guess a little birdie told me. One final thing for Robinson. Have you seen your friend or your coworker that was specifically interested in me and my kind of friends recently?
I mean, not in a little bit. Since I transferred up here, I haven't really talked to anyone down there.
If you see them, let me know, please.
Do you want me to go asking or looking?
Not actively. If you have a name that you can give me, well, I think I might have somebody that can look into that.
Let me pull that up. One moment.
Yeah. But in the meantime, we told everyone, don't stay at school over the next couple weeks, if at all possible.
The name that she gets back with you is Frederick Gaines.
Send that over to Uriel. Like, do you have anybody that can look into this name? I want to know everything.
Everything as in city records, everything?
I want to know what they had for breakfast. Everything. So literally everything.
I'll see what I can find out. By the way, we should talk at some point. Privately.
We should, but get your things and make sure that you're not actually at the school over the next couple of weeks. They're going to start construction, specifically on the roof. Don't want anybody to be caught out during the day anyway.
Gotcha.
That is all Rufus has.
If Uriel asks, they are welcome at their ghoul's place, at least for a few days.
Uriel will take them up on that.
So you have a place to stay, at least short term. There is one other person in the house, so they don't recommend you doing it long term.
Yeah, no.
But
Uriel wouldn't want to stay long term anyway.
yeah, but you have a place to go for the immediate night. Or
cool.
End of the immediate night. So that wraps up the evening of the 26th. We will pick back up on the night of the 27th, or day, depending on what Zep wants to do. But that wraps up this game. Thank you for joining us, everybody. It was an interesting game. Lots of talking, lots of role play, lots of interesting things happened. if you look for our links in any of the descriptions, you can find our link tree, and you will find our social media things. You will find our Discord, which if you join, you can go and ask all of the questions and hopefully get all of the answers. You can chat with us, see pictures of our animals, all sorts of fun stuff. You can also find the Dice Legion link, which will give you discounts on dice. Very nice for the holiday season, especially for all the gamers and people who know gamers, which I hope you're a gamer if you're listening to this, but if you're not, that's fine too. No judgment. But yeah, please like, comment, subscribe, share, the whole 9 yards, sacrifice for the
Blood for the blood god.
I was gonna say the algorithm, but that works too.
Let's be fair, the algorithm is the blood god at this point.
You're not wrong. The game started a little bit later than normal. We ran a little bit longer than normal. Not a big deal. Not sure how long our after games talks will be, but they will be starting in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Spoiler time. And we have a puppy.
Yeah.
Cute.
Yes, we do.
I actually need to head out pretty quick here.
Other puppy.
So,
Okay. All good.
and you will get me the thing at some point
Yep,
in the
I
nebulous future.
have it now. Well, I have the
Okay,
name
awesome.
now. We will do other roles throughout the week for things. Well,
Sounds
2
good.
weeks. Okay.
Sounds good. All right. Just a heads up, I probably will not be here for Thursday. Got other things going on, but I will be here Sunday. So
Okay.
I'll see you guys Sunday. Except for Serga, who I'll see tomorrow. All right. Adios.
Bye-bye.
Spoiler stuff from you guys.
Gotta love the diaries.
So, that was fun.
I am very interested to see where this goes between Life and Rufus.
Was that what they was expecting?
I was expecting not so much stuff to happen, but that's fine. I actually like these kinds of games where we hit topics and just kind of roleplay heavy, but not focusing too much on one specific night. I like ones like that occasionally. This kind of move plot forward and things like that.
And bridge some character gaps between PCs and NPCs and PCs and PCs.
Yep.
Get people to know life more. So a little more intimately than some would have liked.
I think that a lot would have liked.
I decided that Life would collect journals from kindreds
So there
in
isn't
general.
really a whole lot of kindred that keep journals because that's a bad thing.
Oh yeah.
So most of them would be from themselves and the sire. Okay.
Like one of them is probably just like a kindred that started and then the journal is mostly destroyed and not even legible.
Yeah,
It's
I'm just letting you know above the table, you don't have too many. Or at least too many that overtly hint to kindred stuff. Okay.
Like you could probably find out, but it'd be very useless. Is what I assume.
Yeah, they aren't filled with secrets or too much. I mean, you still have your dot in the library, so the accumulated books will help, but specific secrets, Most of that will be from your sire.
Maybe a singular safe code that doesn't go anywhere because it's a book that's old and useless.
I mean, I'm not going to give specifics or anything like that, but overall, there isn't huge secrets that you have. No, like, life-altering knowledge there. You'd have to buy a few more dots in library for that.
Yeah, I'm mostly thinking these are like journals from beginning kindreds who were like, oh yeah, this is where like I learned this, and then just instantly just had to stop because they realized, oh, this is bad, and then got rid of them, and they just
most
ended
of them
up
would have been
someplace.
destroyed at that point, but you can have a few.
They're just a collection of items that aren't useful.
I'm just saying, most of them, if they were gotten rid of, would be destroyed. Not all of them. You can have some.
Thank you.
Next time, we'll talk about things like that before they come up.
Yeah. Fair.
Not a big deal or anything, but things like that, we should talk about first.
Yes.
How much attention did Zep bring from the Ventru?
What do you mean?
You totally didn't.
Asking about the casino.
Who knows? Certainly not you, who didn't ask for looking around or checking or seeing if you were followed or seeing if you were being watched or anything like that.
Why would I do
Bad
that?
man. You never do that. Come on now.
I'm not always going to ask for roles. Sometimes you have to actively ask for these things.
I know.
Because I don't know how much of an eye out your character's keeping. There'll be some repercussions, don't worry. Probably different ones than you would expect, but things will come up.
Here's a question for all the two remaining people. Because Faye already knew or knows the full plan. How'd you like my talk with Peter?
Interesting.
Because Artemis is a problem, and if Kat's not willing to help, Kat's a problem.
Scared of where it will go.
You should be.
It's fine.
How'd you
I
like
have a
that?
plan for that as well.
How'd you like that little drop I gave you?
Yeah, Rufus is absolutely like, okay. Find more unbondable meats. I wonder what Corey can do. That was his other thing. That's a question for another time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wish that would be nuts, but okay.
There's a lore sheet somewhere that lets him do that, actually. Or Bloodline. I'll have to look it up. I don't remember which one it is. There's a couple that subvert bonds, but there's one Sabat/Zamitzi one that does.
Yeah. Yeah, we've talked about it.
Yeah. Gain some trust first. If this doesn't end badly for Peter, maybe he'll be more open. He spilled quite a few very problematic secrets already.
Yeah. You know Rufus isn't going to say anything, do you? So.
I know that. But he's testing waters, heavily testing waters. But he's only got 2 intelligence.
Rufus does too. Look at that. Average buddies.
Woo! Yeah, and
Life Dodge has
he
more?
has 2 intelligence and 2 wits, so he's trying his best.
But he's strong and he's quick.
He's very fucking strong. That's his 4.
Mm-hmm.
And he can do some nifty shit.
We've seen some of it.
Yep.
Because if I'm not mistaken, he can do some blood sorcery.
Yes, he
Or some
can.
sorcery of some sort.
He can do a very fun thing called visceral absorption. It's a fortitude amalgam with blood sorcery that basically lets you create a vortex of blood from the dead bodies around you and clean up masquerade violations. And takes care of your hunger.
Depending on what you eat.
won.
It's gross.
It's an interesting one.
Yeah.
I should get fortitude with my terrible HP.
Yes. Yes, you should.
It's only 6 EXP to get 1 dot.
I think it's a fortitude.
I mean, for me, it's 7.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's protean and blood sorcery. I think. Yeah. Protean and blood sorcery.
Either way, it makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
But here's the biggest question is, where did he learn blood sorcery?
He already told you. Cat.
Yeah, I know.
But that specific one he did not learn from Cat.
Nice.
That's a fairly Sabat aligned one, actually.
I have a feeling I know exactly where he came from. And when he came from. So he's lucky to be around.
He's actually kind of old.
Exactly, he's lucky to be around.
Yep. And also pretty
so
lucky Cat lets him live. Without being bondable. He made himself useful.
Yay.
Worrying statements.
Yes. Cat is a worrying person.
Yeah. Faye and I have talked in length as far as, like, if Rufus can't coerce her to actually help without, like, resorting to, I have your weight. How to make things happen from this meets the thing.
Well, taking the Whiten wouldn't be the only thing that did it. Taking Vincent would. Taking Tamira would.
Right.
And Celia would.
Right. Yeah, which one of those he would be willing to do. The other two, no, definitely not.
Well, you have just opened another avenue there with realizing that Celia is actually not bonded.
Yeah.
So, I wanted to save that one and surprise you with it.
Yeah, that'll be fun. That'd be real fun.
Mm-hmm.
Hey Celia, I want to talk to you. Why do you want to talk to her? Don't worry about it, Cat.
Yeah. It'd be interesting.
All of the worries there, Rufus.
I do have to ask, is it the werewolf
Vincent is
that
the werewolf.
you're Vincent, that you don't want to try to use as leverage?
No. Hell no. Not only hell no, but hell to the F no.
Vincent's a very interesting one. There's a lot of history between him and Kat. Oh, and you were gonna ask how old Vincent is?
Oh, yeah.
Peter would have told you that he followed Kat from Poland.
So a couple hundred years minimum.
Yeah.
Say minimum. No, thank you.
Yeah.
200 to 300
Elder vampires are scary. But...
He's a ghoul.
Yeah, like
Yeah, he's been a
200
ghoul
to 300.
for a couple hundred years.
Yep.
And a werewolf.
Yes.
Yep.
He regularly breaks the blood bond, but stays with her because of other reasons.
I just feel like a werewolf would be too dangerous at that level for anyone.
You would think. So Kat actually has multiple scars on her face from him. Like, she is scarred. Yes. As an old as fuck kindred.
As an old as fuck Zamitzi.
Koldoon Zamitzi.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like when Life Dodge meets Kat, it's going to be one of these moments like, this is what I've been hearing about. Oh God.
He's gonna have to be careful around Kat. If he ever meets Kat.
Don't like each other.
Huh?
Khaldun and Bali don't like each other.
Oh, no, they do not.
Particularly, those two don't.
Khaldun may pull their power originally from a demon, but that's only because they bound it. They make no pacts, they make no deals.
One's a servant to the demon, the other one has the demon as a servant. I feel like it's pretty reasonable to say the Khaldun would just go, they suck.
This specific Khaldun will just open the earth underneath you and eat you.
Ah.
He has done that. In front of the group to make them realize you don't fuck with me. But she will make no moves against you as long as you don't fuck with her area. If you bring issues, she will become your issue.
The curious factor is whether or not Kat will find life interesting because he's studying demons and maybe like go, hey, go this way.
I will
don't go that way.
Pretty much guarantee you the answer is a no. She's not interested in young kindred other than her own brood. She barely cares about Rufus. She is at 3 humanity and only concerns herself with her horde, which is her family. Her lineage, specifically.
So, don't upset Kat. Kat will not care for life. Life does not know that yet.
Nope. Don't take it personally, though. She's like that with practically everybody.
I kind of figured as much.
What'd you say?
She loved William.
William didn't say much around her. No one said much around her.
Except for Rufus.
Yeah, she...
But he was like, ooh, that's a scary one.
Vaguely likes Rufus because she has something to hold over him.
My brain is just instantly thinking, I'm going to have the earth swallow me and turn me into fertilizer very rapidly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Actually, one of the new rituals involves vitae-fed plants.
Yeah. I think I saw that in Blood Signals. Was it a 3rd level?
Something like that. I haven't actually plotted out her disciplines, but it's pretty much whatever the fuck I want it to be because she's 6th generation.
Yeah.
And from
that's
like
almost.
What did I say? Like 1,000 or 700?
Somewhere in there.
Yeah, she's old.
You mean we just do that with old as shit kindred?
Yeah.
We get whatever we feel like is appropriate?
Yep. Leon's was fun to make today.
Yeah. Or kindred that are have been through some shit. Like Samal. He just kind of has what I say he has because it makes sense to me.
Yep.
He's also been through a whole lot of shit, so he absolutely deserves all of it.
Yep. I am giving a generic 25 to 30 experience points per most of the NPCs or the important NPCs I'm building. But the oldest shit ones just get whatever I want.
That's what I'm doing with Charleston.
Like, I mean, they'll get an extra 25 to 30 just for a pre-build. And then as NPCs are showing up in games, they're gaining 1 experience point per game they show up in.
Which is also why I'm trying to pull in my favorite ones.
Yes, so let me get a list of tonight, by the way. There was Varia, Peter, Damien. Who else showed up? Leon, although he doesn't really matter either way.
Within
Killer
coterie,
doesn't really matter.
Yeah. Who else? No one else showed up. Not really.
Robinson. Because why not? Like they're gonna get a whole hell of a lot, right?
I mean, they'll get stuff. Oh, I actually found Robinson's first name again.
Oh, what was it?
It is. Hang on, let me scroll over to it. You settled on the name Gabby, so I went with Gabriella. But she goes by Gabby.
Yeah. Works for me.
I actually searched through our conversations for this.
Nice. At least somebody knows. My creation. You just remember everything.
That's fine. The Trello board I have is very helpful for NPC names.
Yeah. I should probably start doing that. Adding all of the random NPCs that I throw at you in there.
Actually, if you go to the Blood and Hope Detroit one, you can actually find all of the clans that will show up. I actually went through and added exactly how many of each. No information on any of them, but just you can see how many will show up.
Nice.
Yeah. So, any other spoilers or things you want to know about?
How would Life Dodge have a pen pal at this point that might be a Bali?
Have you bought that part of the lore sheet yet?
Not yet.
Then no.
Like coming up. Just a fun little idea.
Things are in the works, and it will come up as it comes up.
I have given you Rufus's warning.
You have. Life Dodge might not be listening quite to that yet because he doesn't necessarily see you as a true threat to him as long as he keeps quiet about it.
That's okay when he lights Cat on fire and runs out. See how much of it's ready.
Route this pistol to the mouth.
That's about the only way that's even remotely going to happen.
Oh man, that's going to be an interesting thing if you get to that point.
Yeah. Then, oh, he is a threat. Oh dear God.
There are things in the work for your bodily stuff. I believe the third one is when you receive a Malwa. So, things are in the works. Don't worry. You'll get their attention soon.
I definitely think they're going to pick up, hey, there's a weirdo in this church, and...
Oh, they're not in Detroit right now. There's only very few handful of them left in North America. So they have to hear through the grapevine, like probably less than both hands.
That's what I thought.
They'll have to hear through the grapevine, and then they will travel, they'll test, they'll see, they'll observe, and then they'll make contact. So things are starting to roll that way. It will just take some time.
And the likelihood of it going to the wrong people and Life Dodge instantly being met with beautiful sun rays.
No, I mean, you're purchasing into the lore sheet, so it will happen. The farther you purchase into the lore sheet, the more the cogs will turn. But there is absolutely things that can go wrong.
If I remember correctly, there's a Bali Methuselah in San Antonio. That's part of the canon.
I tried to find known Bali earlier, and I had the hardest time finding it. I did find links to one in a child of one in Chicago, though. Although I don't know how true that is. Either way, I'm rolling with it.
Fun fact. Hey, Faye.
Yeah.
Where was his buddy in Texas? Rufus's buddy in Texas.
I mean, you never actually told me, nor do I know anything about this kindred.
Well, I told you it was La Sombra, and I told you it was like out in the middle of nowhere, but over close to San Antonio.
Yeah.
So, funny you bring up San Antonio. Just to interject.
Yeah, we'll have to talk more about your friends. But they'll show up.
Yeah, which one there's less talking about. The other one there's more talking about.
Yeah, it depends on how much you want them to show up.
That is completely up to you. Enough to cause problems. Let's put it that way.
I will say another hint of something got tossed in tonight. I wonder how many of you will pick up on it. Other things are moving in the city as well.
I am so interested in whatever the opera thing was, because I was just like, oh no, that's an Elysium possibility.
It's
I
not.
could always send a message to William and ask.
Well, no one told Rufus about this.
Nope.
Life did tell Uriel, so it will probably get to Rufus one way or another. So that's good news.
That's probably what Uriel wants to talk about with
Maybe.
Rufus.
Who knows?
Try to get.
But is there any last things you guys would like to have on stream before we do a post games talk? All right.
Also,
So, thanks for everyone who stuck around. Have a good one.